What's good, family? It's your girl Wisdom, and we are back with another episode. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope your energy is in good levels, okay? And I hope these retrogrades and these moons and these solar eclipses and everything else going on in the galaxy is not making you crazy. No, it is. It's okay. Look, we all in alignment with the craziness right now. So keep your composure, go into the sun, i.e., our solar plexus. Go into the sun, get the sun rays on your skin, go touch the grass, tell somebody you love them, and then go be quiet and go read a book or just come watch this video. On today's episode, we are talking about what kind of artist are you? So this episode came to me when I was on TikTok, and I was just kind of listening to all of my supporters and some of the things that they have been going through as far as like trying to identify themselves within their artwork, or even just trying to figure out what type of art to create that really fulfills them on a soulful level. And I thought it was a great opportunity for me to just explain my own story and my journey with Xwizdumbx as the artist and also as the brand with my clothes and everything. So yeah, if you do not know, Xwizdumbx is defined by the knowledge of self. Now, mind you, the knowledge of self was not originally like the motto of Xwizdumbx. It was actually don't ask permission, and it kind of still is. And with the don't ask permission basically just means not needing anybody to validate who you are, what you represent, and how you walk your life. And that is something that I still walk with to this day. And it speaks to resilience and the determination that I've always had in anything that I embark on in my life. And I wanted to create a brand initially around that resilience, around having a voice and being heard and being seen, and then standing in my truth and knowing who I truly am in this world. And now, as I become an artist, that has transferred over into me. Just like I am the brand. It's always been me the entire time. And now all of that energy is within my paintings. So when it comes to developing your identity as an artist, sometimes that just comes over time. And usually those energies are rooted through your traumas. It is usually rooted through some crazy stuff you've experienced. So for me, mine's was a lot of the times I felt like I had to be in the background because I was a middle child. I wasn't heard or as seen as much, or I was always chosen last, or I kind of had to do a lot of things like under the radar. And I had to be really self-sufficient as well, even like in classrooms, just kind of just figuring out things on my own because I felt like more people needed the attention from teachers or mentors more than I did. And technically that was the truth because I'm such a self-starter. So seeing how that was a part of my greatness, but also too, the shadow side of that was like, it took me a while to start with YouTube and putting my voice out there and being seen and being heard and knowing that I'm worthy of people listening to me and people seeing my face and being a part of my energy. So you kind of have to just take everything that encompasses you, put it on a journal, write it in a journal, and let it sit. And when it comes to an artist name, unless you want to use your actual name, right? When it comes to an artist name, when it comes to brand identity, when it comes to what kind of art projects that you want to create. So whether you're an abstract artist or you do surrealism or you do I think it's called cubism, but like the artwork with cubes and everything, just giving y'all ideas. Or you do like Renaissance artwork, whatever it is that lights your fire is where you're supposed to start. And initially for me, it started with graffiti. I was a graffiti artist before anything. And I'm pretty sure y'all can kind of see that. Like the graffiti, y'all can see that, right? And I've always loved color. I always loved 70s styles music, the funk, the just the schemes, the psychedelicness, like just the cool movement of how energy was supposed to be. The 70s is probably the best time period ever lived. probably the best when it comes to artwork, sonics, and just every music, art, just everything. Ugh, the 70s fashion. Just, I love it. It's so good. But just drawing all of those inspirations, right? But then also self-awareness is really important to me. Using my voice is really important to me. Knowing who I truly am and standing in my truth is really important to me. And you can literally see that in everything that I do. Having a connection with my inner child, having a connection to self, and to community is really important to me. And you also see that in the ways in which I show up for content. So I'm giving content that teaches people, and I'm advancing people in their perspectives and how they think. So you just have to take all the different parts of yourself and allow those things to kind of develop within your work. And this just comes down to a game of authenticity. Are you being authentic to you? Are you using your superpowers? Are you being aware with what your superpowers are? And do you know, do you know, do you know the Muffin Man, the Muffin Man? I don't know why that's coming through. Do you know the Muffin Man, the Muffin Man? You don't know the Muffin Man? I'm sorry. You don't know Wisdom? How you don't know her? That's what I'm thinking in my head. But like, you have to know enough about yourself. I'm sorry, the song is still stuck in my head. And now I'm thinking of Shrek. I love Shrek. Maybe y'all need to watch Shrek. Oh, wait, download. This has never happened, but I'm getting a download right now. Okay. Y'all, if y'all have ever seen Shrek, and y'all seen all the Shrek is one of my favorite cartoon movies ever. I love it. I love Shrek, okay? You cannot beat me in a battle of Shrek, like when it comes to knowing everything about Shrek. Like, you just can't. You can't, okay? We itched a kick. We itched that one too. Anyway, on the fourth movie of Shrek has all of his kids. He's married to his wife Fiona, and he's going through an identity crisis basically because he's an ogre, and ogres are supposed to be looking mean. They're supposed to be tough, rough around the edges, and now people are like, we love Shrek, we're praising Shrek, do the roar, like everybody just loves Shrek, and Shrek is like, nah, I'm an ogre and I want to only have this type of personality. This is what I've always known how to identify myself as. Or being alone is how I always identified myself as, or I've always seen myself as. And I feel like this download is important. But you see how his entire life shifts through love, right? But you see how his entire life shifts, and he has to be accepting of this new life and this new version of himself, which was already within him. It just got unlocked because now he has a family. And he basically kind of took that for granted. And like, it takes you through the whole movie. Go watch Shrek. Just go watch it. But anyway, to get to the point that I'm trying to make, you have to allow your identity and your awareness of self to evolve over time, because your artwork is going to evolve over time. And a lot of people will literally say, I am this thing, this is the only thing that I do, and not giving ourselves the space to continue to expand as an artist. We will be so quick to refine ourselves to one style, to one technique, and be like, okay, well, this is the thing that I'm gonna go towards because I know this is the one thing that makes money, or this gets a lot of interaction on my social media. And it's very important that you allow those parts of yourself to be represented in different areas. So I'm going to use myself as an example. I identify with so many things in my life that make me me. And there's only going to be one me. Just like you are going to figure out what you identify with that makes you you. And can nobody imitate that? They could try, but they will never know what's going on in here. What's cooking up in here. Okay, today we have soup. we have soup today, and it has a lot of herbs and stuff in it. That's what we eat on the day. And nobody will ever know what my next move is, because I'm always giving myself the freedom to develop something new, to develop new projects, to expound on a new technique or an idea, or expound on a new inspiration that I've seen from a different artist that I didn't come across, when I first started. And I went from graffiti, and now that I'm tapped into my spiritual abilities, I now use that as a tool to connect with people. So let's say you don't come and get a session from me, right? Or you've never had a spiritual reading from anybody. You can get that from my paintings. I can always trust that. You're going to get some element of spiritual awareness, some element of my inner child, some element of connection to your ancestors, some element of movement from any of my pieces. And that represents all the different parts that make me me. And it's important to do it right now, whether you are like a painter, a graphic artist, a dancer, a musician, whatever it is that you do, you songwrite, you do poetry. Take a look at all your bodies of work and ask yourself, are all these different bodies of work representations of me? And can somebody outside of myself look at these bodies of work and be like, oh, I know exactly what you identifying with. You ain't even got to say nothing. You don't even have to. I get it. Like, it's here, it's prevalent, I could read all of the energy in it, and it's there. And be honest with yourself. Because the more honest you are, the more freedom that you give yourself to make changes when it comes to that. As an artist, you have to figure out what makes you great. You have to figure out what are the things that makes you feel the most fulfilled, makes you feel the most alive within your artwork, and figure out creative ways in which you can represent that within your artwork. And then most importantly, how do you identify and how do you receive yourself as an artist? If you are not accepting of who you are, whether this is your sexual orientation, whether this is the traumatic things that you have gone through. I know that for me, like, it was hard to accept a lot of traumatic things that I've gone through, you know. But like, if you're not being acceptive of the person who you are right now, showing up as the person you are right now, it's going to leave you stagnant with your art. It's going to leave you in a creative confusion with your art. And maybe that might be your thing, the creative confusion. Like, I'm going to be this artist that's still trying to figure it out. Or maybe I do need to communicate pieces that is showing how depressed I am. Because maybe somebody else is depressed. And maybe I just need to look at this piece, and then if somebody else resonates with this is going to be perfect. You know, you just have to see the magic within your madness. Okay. And for me, I found the magic in my madness, and I'm allowing that magic to keep developing as I grow and as I learn, and as I continue to do new things within my art practice. And even as I'm saying art practice, my art practice is not just the physicality of canvases and skateboards and clothes and different pieces. It's also being able to film. It's also being able to communicate with you guys, to communicate. It's also to continue teaching and doing workshops and expounding on my spiritual abilities as well. Like, all of this is a part of me, and it's kind of like, it's like a circle of life. Like, I have all of these different elements that I'm working on that make me me. And it's really important that you figure out what makes you you, and be receptive to who you are as an individual. Another thing to consider as an artist is, as you ask yourself what makes you great, also consider what makes you accessible to others that are in alignment with you, those that are on the same journey as you. How can people reach you, and in which ways do you want to do that? So even like for me, When I first started doing festivals or pop-up shops and stuff, I would never book during the weekday just because I knew my energy was going to be depleted. And now, that's changed over time since I've become a full-time artist. But for me now, if I book an art show or an exhibition, I know the day after, I'm not talking to nobody. Like, I recently just went to a networking event, and it was an all-day event, and I was a social butterfly. And the next day I was like, my energy is gone. I'm not talking to nobody. I'm not having no conversations with nobody until I'm ready. All right. And until I feel ready, because I have to recharge, right? Until I feel ready, then I'll start talking to people again. And you kind of just have to know yourself. Are you an extrovert or an introvert? I'll use this as an example too. There are certain spaces that I chose to no longer do art shows at anymore. So for places that have a lot of that going on, or they have a lot of that going on, party vibe, nighttime vibes, it ain't for me. It ain't for me. You know why? Because I see all people's shadows the shadows be walking like this right behind them. I see people's bad sides, and I don't want to be in that space when I got all this light on me. I'll be glowing, and then I pop up in no. I don't do it no more. And then also too, sometimes the smell is just too much for me, and I can't focus, and then I'm irritated. I just no. So you have to know what spaces that you thrive in. Daytime shows are really good for me. I love daytime shows. I don't have a problem doing nighttime shows if it's like an outside festival type of thing, or like we are actually in like a gallery setting, and there's not crazy amount of this going on. Like, those are the type of settings that I enjoy. Like, it's just very interactive, and I have to feel out the energy of certain places too. So you got to figure that out and what works best for you. Are you the type of artist that is okay with putting themselves on the internet and showing your face? And if you're not, that is totally fine. You just have to respect where you're at. You have to respect how you're choosing to show up within your artwork, and how you're choosing to show up to get more engagement. Also consider if you're the type of artist that can post 5 times a day, 7 times a day, or are you the artist that posts once a week? For me, it just depends on my energy. Like, I follow the flow of the moon cycles. That's how it is for me. Like, I could be going through something, and I kind of just have to let myself, if I feel like posting, if I know I got the energy to record, I can do that. But some people, they follow a schedule. They're kind of like, okay, I post twice a week at this specific time. This is where people know to expect me. And that's that. When I first started on TikTok, I used to go live on TikTok like 3 times a day. And I don't know how the hell I did that, but I did. And I would have 3 different times. I think my original times was like 1 or 12, 5, and then like 8 or 9 p.m. And it burnt me the hell out. And I have found more happiness just with like my flow and everything. I have found more happiness with just going live when I feel like it. Or if I have the energy to edit and do a video, I know to post. And also to just, knowing that I am building up to, having my business and having my artistry more established. So let's say if I'm asking for something and I'm manifesting for something, which is basically like, I want more art commissions or I want more engagement, that means I need to be posting. So a lot of the times we will have all these things that we want to do for some of us, and we never actually put the actionable things towards that. So consider that for a second. Are you showing up in the ways that you wish to show up in order to attract the things that you want to attract in your life? And if you're not doing that, I'm gonna need you to hop to it. Okay? If you want more people to come purchase your work and you want people to interact with you, I'm gonna need you to start showcasing off your work. And social media is the easiest way to do that right now. Or I need you to make a website, put a portfolio on there. That's the easiest way for you to do that. And if you need help with that, Y'all know, just come to the mentorship. Come get a mentorship from me. Or you should be journaling. Every episode, you should be journaling. I'm helping you. Or come to the Patreon. I got you. I'm here. I'm here for you. An extension of this conversation would also be, who are the people that inspire you as an artist? So though early on, I would say I was an early bloomer to self-awareness and understanding myself. And I feel like that's only because this is my mission in life, just to teach about that. Because since I'm the first learner, then I can go and teach and help other people. But who are the prophets? Who are the artists? Whether they're painters, whether they're sculptors, whether they're musicians, or they're actors and actresses. Who are the people that inspire you? And if I'm one of them, thank you so much. But who are the people that inspire you? And study how they operate. Study how they talk. Study how they produce their work because it's authentic to them. Study how they approach their own business, or they approach how their freelancing gigs. Study all of that, okay? Not in like a weird way where you're trying to take their stuff, but study it to a point where, okay, how can I apply this to my life? And I know for me, I talked about the 70s, right? I love a whole bunch of 70s musicians. So Al Green, Marvin Gaye, and their storytelling. That's what I enjoy about them. It's a simple fact that every time that I can listen to a song, I have a story, I have an image in my mind, and I'm going down a lane, okay? Or even movies. I just talked about Shrek. Oh, my nails is itching. Y'all know what I'm on it. I'm on it. But you have to look at all of these different things that have gotten you excited over your lifetime and realize, okay, what is that thing? What is it about this specific movie or artist that I love so much, that I feel so connected with? Because most of the time, when we love certain things or we're inspired by certain things, it's because we see parts of ourselves within the individual. And so like, even for me, you know, Andy Warhol, or, and I'm just mentioning the greats right now, but Andy Warhol or Basquiat or Jackson Pollock, like, not only are these people that people have now been comparing me to, which I am so honored, but just seeing different inspirations from them, and I'm like, okay, how can I add more color? How can I add different ways of how color is experienced through my artwork and still make this a part of me? Or even artists that create from a spiritual aspect, okay, how can I make this spiritual but make it me? And those are the things that you have to draw from and take note from, and respect the ways in which artists show up for themselves, and then you start showing up for you in your own way. In the midst of me making this video, I was kind of just letting all of the intuitive words and ideas just come to me about what I wanted to specifically talk about with you guys. And this Gary Vee video had popped up, and I was like, oh my God, this will be perfect to just add as an extension of what we're talking about. And so he basically said, make it work for you. And how many times do y'all know, if you have been watching my videos, how many times do y'all know I say this? Like, figure out what works best for you. What works best for me may not work best for you. And you have to be honest about that. And basically he states like, how different people have different ways in which they do things, and even how they start their day. So an example that he uses is like, you know, he's a business owner. He has a company. The first thing that he does is touching his phone because he has responsibilities to do. Whereas somebody like me, my first thing that I'm doing when I get up, yes, sometimes I may be editing videos, but most of the time I want to sit and meditate for 20 minutes before I touch my phone. And sometimes the days differ depending on what my workload is. And this, just using this as an example of how to start your day, your art process and how you start your art process is going to be different than how I start mine. And you have to do what makes sense to you. He basically goes on to say, you need to figure yourself out. Your system is not going to be my system. What works for me is not going to work for you, and it shouldn't. It shouldn't. You need to define yourself as your own person, as your own individual, and be fully functioning and be confident in how and in the ways in which you choose to show up in your own life or even in your art practice. So then he just goes on to say, life is about self-awareness and figuring out what works for you. It's also about adaptability and adjusting through life. So don't be afraid of making changes to your journey, or don't be afraid to try something new within your journey. Even I recently just started something new, and I'm having to incorporate, when I knew that I wanted to keep posting videos on YouTube, that was changing how much I was spending time painting. So sometimes I could spend 12 hours or 6 hours painting, but if I really knew that I wanted to make a video, I have to now make the root chakra. Who is it? But I now needed to make time to create these videos and give time to my Patreon and give time to showing up on TikTok. And sometimes I may have more energy to give to TikTok than I am with my paintings, because maybe I'm taking a break from my paintings, right? Or maybe I have more time to my YouTube videos than I am to creating my Patreon. And you kind of just have to respect what those flows are if you are a person that intuitively flows like that. Now, if you got a schedule, kudos to you. Like a strict schedule that you follow, kudos to you. I'm more of like, this is the idea, or these are the things that I want to get done, and I'm just gonna allow them to get done in the time that they can get done. That's just me, because I know I'm overly ambitious and I can get ahead of myself because I know myself, right? The next part of this is just having a reality check with yourself. Where are you right now in your career as an artist? Or where are you right now in serving yourself to the highest capacity within your passions? Are you truly doing the thing that makes you feel fulfilled in this life? And if the answer is no, you got to get on that. You gotta look at your life and be like, okay, well, what are some things that I want to change? And then you say, okay, what's the reality of how I can make those changes? What is something that I can do right now that may not cost me so much money, but I can implement right now? If you got a phone, you can post. If you got a phone, you can post content. I don't care what content it is. You'll have no excuse. You can do it. If you watching me, you could do it. Okay? If you have access to social media, you can do it. And you can also get in contact with people in order to support your work as well. You can do it. I believe in you. So now believe in yourself. And if you are somebody that is like, I'm good. Like I do feel like I am working in my passions, what I'm supposed to do in this lifetime. I truly feel that way. Is there more things that I want? Yes. But am I happy? Yes. And so the other side of that would just be, okay, well, what are some things that you see within your passions that's working for you? And what do you see that are some things that are burdensome to you, that you either want to find a new way in order to do it, find an easier way to do it, or maybe just not do it anymore because you can't give energy to it anymore? And those are some things that you just have to be real about when it comes to, developing your career or just developing as an artist. You have to be okay with making those adjustments. So we have officially gotten to the takeaways of this video. And one of our takeaways is going to be getting to know who you are. Identify yourself. Get to learn what your superpowers are, what makes you great. Are you a great communicator? Are you great at editing videos? Are you great at songwriting? Are you great when it comes to painting? Are you great at putting colors Are you great at putting colors together? Do you really thoroughly enjoy textures? Like, what makes you you? What is your superpower? And start using those things to your advantage. And to be fair, that's really the only takeaway that I have, is you to go identify who you are. And if you have How do you want to continue to evolve in who you know is true to you? So if you are just creating your art and you're not posting, how do you expand? In what ways do you want to start posting? Like, these are just things just to consider and jot down. So I am doing something new. I am super excited about this. I probably mentioned this in another episode, but I am deciding to do affirmations at the end of each episode just because I love affirmations so much and they have helped me so much along the way. If you have an affirmation print by me, thank you so much. I appreciate you for purchasing. But our affirmation for this episode is going to be, I am worthy to be seen as my authentic self. I love that one. That one just feels so nice. I am worthy to be seen as my authentic self. I am worthy to be seen as my authentic self. I love that one. So I'll make sure to have the description for that print available, and I'll like show it right here. That way y'all can see it. And feel free to make a purchase and you can put it up in your space or your home. And yeah, I appreciate the support. As always, if you are interested in one-on-one sessions with me, whether it be artistic mentorship or spiritual guidance from the ancestors, or you want a little tarot card reading, you are more than welcome to book an appointment. All of those links are in the description below. But as always, until the next episode, I will see y'all soon. Go hug a tree, go tell somebody you love them, and yeah, I'll see y'all later. Bye.